Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you again so much for our time together. Well, as you all know, we're back home. We were in the services last weekend. Revival nights start back up at South again tonight. We'll look forward to seeing all of you at South. But I wanted to take one last morning devotion and a drop-dead beautiful morning from the rooftop of our hotel over Jerusalem. The walled city is in the background. The Mount of Olives, Mount Scopus, Temple Mount, it's all right behind us. And I'd like to read you one verse, and maybe this is the best verse we can read coming from Jerusalem. In verse 10 of Mark 13, Jesus said, "On account of me, you will stand before governors and kings as witnesses to them, and the gospel must first be preached to all nations." From this place, Jesus said, the gospel must be preached to all nations. Jesus taught the Gentile ministry. Jesus never looked upon the Gentiles as if we're second-class citizens. In fact, we've been grafted in along with the Jews. He said the gospel must be preached to all nations. Now, I want you to understand, the gospel must be preached, not the pet doctrine of a church to all nations. God has not called me to preach faith, prosperity, prophecy, whatever to all nations, but I have been called to preach the gospel. I've not been called to preach discipleship to all nations. I've been called to preach the gospel. We don't preach the church. We don't preach a pet doctrine. We don't preach our movement. We preach the good news of Jesus Christ. I challenge you today. The world needs the gospel as much today as it did the first time Jesus said that, standing here in the ancient city of Jerusalem. The gospel, the good news of Jesus, his life, his suffering, his death, his resurrection, and all that it means to transform a human life. That is the message. Let's stay on message. Let's quit telling people our story, and let's begin to tell people his story.